Hi guys. Uh Welcome. I'm Izzy, also known as Astremia here. I'm an evolutionary astrologer and this is your weekly forecast for Monday, May 9th until the following Monday, May 25th. Okay. So we're going to dive into this week's astrology and there's a lot happening this week. There's a lot of parts moving and I'm excited to dive into it. So that's what this video is going to be about. Make yourself a cup of tea, get cozy. It's going to be kind of long, or maybe play me in the background as you're cleaning, and whatever you do with yourself, enjoy it and listen to me talk about my favorite thing, which is the planets. All right, let's get some housekeeping out of the way. I have my readings open. I'm going to be continuing to open them up for June. So if you're looking for a natal chart reading, those are available. I also am honing in on my divine channeled messages. So if you're looking for a card reading or a channeled reading from me, those are open as well. And my newsletter, Letters from the Eighth House, is popping off. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people are loving it and I'm loving creating it. It takes what I say here and puts it in more concrete and digestible words for you to move forward with the week. From the people that I've chatted with about what I'm doing and what I'm creating, a lot of people are loving it and using it as a guidepost for their week ahead and how to navigate their day-to-day life with this knowledge of the celestial bodies. So if you haven't signed up yet, link is down below. So go ahead and sign up. I also do new and full moon rituals with that newsletter, totally free. So do that. Also, my Discord community, the House of Celestial Magic, is open and available for anybody who wants to join. So if you're looking for like-minded people who are in the space of discovering themselves, I found that I've gathered a lot of people that are at specific thresholds within their life. So if you're feeling like you're at a turning point or about to embark on something new, come get some extra support and hang out with some cool people. Okay, sweet. All right, for the week of the 29th to the 25th, we have a lot happening. So I'm going to give you a rundown of what this week looks like, and then we're going to dive deep into these transits and how they are showing up. So I've got all my stuff to the side. I've got the chart. I've got the dates. I got all of it. So if you see me looking off to the side, that's what I'm looking at. So on the 20th, we have the Sun in Taurus sextile Saturn in Pisces. Then the Sun is going to move into Gemini on the 20th. So Gemini season officially starts. That means we can all start talking and yapping. On the 22nd, we have Venus in Aries, trine Mars in Leo. Then we have the Sun in Gemini, sextile Neptune in Aries, right? We're making this shift. On the 24th, we have the Sun in Gemini, trine Pluto in Aquarius. And then Mercury in Taurus is going to conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Then Saturn enters Aries. Wow! Saturn enters Aries, and then Mercury enters Gemini, and then Mercury sextiles Saturn in Aries. So it's like this, we got a lot of shifts happening this week. So we're going to jump into it. We're going to dive into all the transits that are happening. It's going to be so much fun. And if you don't know this already, I've been an astrologer for over 10 years. When I sit with the week ahead, I'm being fully present to the energy that is happening and just talking about it. So again, like I said at the beginning, grab your cup of tea, grab your stuff. Normally I'm live streaming this, so I have an audience that I'm talking to, so you guys just get to hear me straight yapping. So I'm excited. Let's dive into it. So on the 20th, we have the Sun and Saturn in sextile, and this is right before they both shift signs. So for me, this feels very significant. They're at the 29th degree, which is the last degree of their respected signs that they're in. Saturn is in Pisces. The Sun is in Taurus. Sextile is a positive energy flow. Okay, so this for me feels like a deepening and a rooting and a final bow of the feminine energy, because there's a lot of shifts within the energetics of this year. A lot of things are going to be shifting into masculine signs, especially outer planets. But this is the final pause and like the visual that I get for this is like what it looks like for water to saturate the earth. Like it feels like this saturation of information, and especially with Saturn and Pisces, it's like deep downloads, and the sun being in Taurus, it's like actually receiving this knowledge in the body. I see like it's almost it's like how our blood moves through our veins. It feels very, very deep and potent, where we are actually settling into the knowledge that has been cultivating for the last 2.5 years as Saturn's been in Pisces. It's like the final hurrah. And with this sun sextile happening here, it's kind of like this body-based knowing of the lessons of Pisces. And Pisces is very present in the ethereal realm. It's the stage before death. And this 29th degree is very significant. It's like, it's right before, it's like death into rebirth. It's like the cusp of emerging anew. And this feels like, oh, and my crown is tingling, which means I am on the right node here. It's leaving an imprint on your body, this knowledge, so that you can access this wisdom that has been accumulating for the past 2.5 years of Saturn and Pisces. Like, it's saturating. It's almost marinating is the word. Marination. Like the wisdom has marinated into your marrow, into your bones, and you're sitting with that energy at this day. And then literally a couple hours later, the sun, like it's like we have this like, and this for a lot of people is going to be early in the morning, depending on where you're at. For me, it's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. PST. So then we shift later in the afternoon. The sun moves into Gemini. Gemini season starts on May 20th, okay? Depending on where you're at in the globe, it might be the 21st if you're over in like Europe. So this is exciting. Gemini is the social butterfly of the zodiac. They are dualistic in the nature of receiving information and giving information. They love to verbally spar with people. They love the dance of communication. I like to see them as like a butterfly flittering around, like, and like listening to this conversation and that conversation. This for us, our ego, our identity, the sun, the core of who we are, is shifting into a new area of your life. So depending on where your rising sign is, the sun is going to be transiting into a new house. If you're using specifically like whole sign houses, but just look at your chart closely. If you need help, let me know below in the comments. I can help. I'll probably do a Sun and Gemini video and just talk about where it's affecting you personally. Lots of words. Already tuning into the Gemini energy. This for me is really exciting because it brings that earthy tone from Taurus into tangible like communication. So we've been really settling into inner knowing, body-based knowledge. And now it's like, now that you've settled into this energetic, we're able to move forward and bring our ideas to life. Sort of those things that have been percolating underneath the surface. It's very much so like, if we look at the natural wheel, we have Aries, which is about like the seed that's been planted is like underneath the surface, like getting ready to burst. Taurus is it like budding up and then it emerging completely with the sun entering Gemini. This is also just such a beautiful energy for us to embark on. It invites us to be more social. It invites us out to talk, to play, to communicate, to really stir in the mental realm. It's Mercury ruled, so we'll find that wherever Mercury is, we're tuned a little bit more deeper into that. We move from stability into stimulation, right? Gemini is very stimulated. It's about connecting. So this next month invites us into exploration, into curiosity, into like digesting data, but we don't want to forget the wisdom that was imprinted on us with Taurus season. So we always are looking to integrate these themes, right? Okay, Wednesday, nothing crazy's happening, but Thursday, the 22nd, is where we have Venus in Aries is going to be trining Mars in Leo. Okay, this is freaking sexy. I love this energy. So we have, oh gosh, let me simmer on this. And simmering feels like a very potent word with this. This to me feels very flirtatious. It feels very emotional. It feels playful, primal, passionate. So we have Venus, our lover, in Aries, which gives her this air of like hyper independence a little bit. It's kind of like boss babe a little bit, where she's kind of in her power. She is knowing her worth. She's knowing who she is. She's embarking in the world with just such a raw confidence. And then we have Mars in Leo. So this is our will, our drive. He is deep in the social realm because the Leo is all about being seen. So it feels like these two are almost like performing for each other on a certain level, which feels really fun. So there's a moment here of bold desire and creative confidence, right? This does give a little boost to the relationship realm. I'm not going to skirt around that. We've got Venus, our lover, Mars, our drive and will to get things done, in a positive, energetic flow. You know, relationships will get kind of a boost of heat, of passion, of flair. There's a lot of courage that comes up with this transit, especially in the realm of initiating love or art or leadership or your values or your desires, right? Whatever realm it falls into for you. This is, this is such a fun energy to be in. So dates would be really fun at this time. Uh, Shooting your shot could be really fun at this time too. Later in the day, on the 22nd, we have the sun in Gemini, right? It just moved into Gemini, is now sextile Neptune in Aries. I have a full video on Neptune in Aries because Neptune's going to be there a while. So if you go back and watch that, it's in this, go check it out after this video to understand how it's affecting you deeply. Sextiles are positive energy flows. And this is the first time that we are having, at least in our day and age, the sun in Gemini, sextile Neptune in Aries. So this is a new feeling. This is something we haven't experienced yet, right? This is cool. Neptune is very, very dreamy when we think about the energetic of Neptune, but Neptune's in Aries, and the theme of Neptune in Aries has really brought in a new realm of spiritual beliefs, of spiritual understanding, of diving deeper into the spiritual realm. And then we have the sun, our ego, our core, our what wants to be seen is here. And in Gemini, which brings into the mind. So it feels very attuned to, it's very interesting. I'm thinking of like the connecting bits because Mercury is in Taurus at the time here. So it brings in Mercury's ruling the sun in Gemini at this portion. And so it feels really cool. It feels really cool. Let me tell you what it feels like. It's this sort of poetic energy, visionary energy. It's a bit enchanted to a degree. It's almost like, I want to say like rose-colored glasses, but in a good way. It's almost like you can see, it's like making the conscious decision to see things in a beautiful light. Messages might come through in dreams. This is a very, anything with Neptune involved brings in the dream realm. Also music, bringing in that Gemini energy. Music feels very potent here as well. There's this kind of like undertone of like, not everything needs to make sense to be sacred. It's like, this energy is very, it's kind of elusive too when I tune into it, but it feels like body-based knowing, and it feels like magic in the mundane, like really witnessing how beautifully magical our life is. It's like serendipity. is this energy. Total serendipity that's like the word for this transit, Sun sextile Neptune. It's like there could be very like chance things occurring where it's just like, wow, I can't believe like me stopping at this red light gave me the opportunity to like see my friend in the car next to me, and then suddenly like we saw each other, waved, and now we have plans to like connect, and maybe there it could lead somewhere completely magical. It feels very like but you don't have to make sense of it. Like just let the energy flow on this day. And this feels very interesting, especially with the Venus and Mars trine happening as well, where it's like maybe there's some really interesting luck within relationships happening. As I look here on, so it's very interesting because the transits, because I literally have them on a calendar. It's kind of like we get like a focus day of like massive transits, and with transits it's not like boom, this is happening and it's happening at this exact time at this exact moment. We can feel it building up. It's almost like how the tides move in, so it's like you can just see them building up and coming up, and then they pull away, and that's kind of how transits are. So the energy will peak at a moment and then it withdraws, but you can feel the build up and you can feel the withdrawal of the energy and like the magic of it. So if you're really really tuned in, it takes a lot of discernment to recognize these things. On the 24th, the Sun in Gemini is going to be trine Pluto in Aquarius. This is cool. So trines are positive energy flows, right? We've got the Sun in Gemini, so all about communication, connecting, curiosity. And then we have Pluto in Aquarius, which is all about innovation, humanitarianism, about building a bigger and brighter future. So there's like really cool insights that are coming up here, especially through dialogue, through like talking. Your words carry power at this time. So use them to initiate truth and not the dark side of Pluto, which is manipulation, right? There's always opportunity for both. So be aware of that at that time too. You know, we want to be aware of our words. There's, with Pluto present, because Pluto is death and rebirth, there is an opportunity for hidden things to be revealed at this time, right? The Sun is shedding light on Pluto in a sort of way here where it's like, what is happening? What's occurring? What's, hiding? And it's kind of giving the stage and opportunity for things to show up, especially within the community realm, because Pluto is in Aquarius, which is all about our community. It's all about what we're building. So there's that happening. And also looking towards the future too here with, it's like insights of potentials of how we can cultivate the future to be what we want it to be. It feels like very fun conversations of like looking ahead. It's cool. A little bit later, Mercury will be conjunct Uranus and Taurus. So I'm kind of a nerd about Mercury and Uranus. That's because I'm ruled by both of them. So if you didn't know this, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So it's higher mind, higher thinking, and the Mercury is more on the earthly plane. So when the two of them come together, it's like divine connection. And they're in Taurus. So that's all about, that's so cool. This is all about deep body intuition happening, and it's almost like electric, so like nervous system based stuff comes in, like lightning downloads, nervous system upgrades, unexpected truths. There can be the opportunity of innovations in how we think, speak, interpret reality, right? So make sure to ground your thoughts, because Taurus kind of here is showing us to pause before pouncing, and this energy, you're gonna want to pounce and move forward. That's literally because like Mercury is changing signs on like literally the following day. Like there's so much shifting this week that it's kind of like to keep up with your thoughts and to keep up with the shifts is gonna be like really important for your body. So ground this week is gonna need a lot of grounding. So I want to say like don't panic with this Mercury and Uranus conjunction, because it is going to bring in like you might notice your body feels completely different. You may notice the way you relate to things tangibly is completely different. Taurus rules over our body, our values, our worth. So you might even have like how you view yourself, how you view money, how you view your relationship to your body, to your world completely shift. That's the magic of Uranus and being aware of it. Like, and then with Mercury, it's like communication. You might have unexpected communication coming in. Exciting. Also, on the 24th, yes, we have a lot happening. This is the big kicker, and I'm probably gonna have a solo video on this to talk more about this in depth, because this is not something I can cram into a like 30-minute video. But Saturday, May 24th, Saturn enters Aries. Saturn is going to be in Aries until the 1st of September. So we're getting a taste. We're getting a taste. A little sampling of Saturn entering Aries. This is a massive new cycle beginning. Saturn moving from Pisces, the last sign, into Aries, the first sign, massive shifting. Saturn is our structure. Saturn is our discipline. Saturn is how we build a foundation for ourselves to stand on. So it's shifting signs. It's shifting in an area of life within your own personal natal chart. So we'll definitely dive deeper into that in its own video. So this is a we will all feel this with this new cycle beginning with Saturn entering Aries. There is a collective learning that is taking place, especially around initiation. Aries is the first sign. It's all about the self. It's all about the identity. Who am I? And Saturn is... I'm getting like choked up. I have Saturn in Aries, so... Comment if you have Saturn in Aries. Comment below. If you have Saturn in Pisces, tell me how it's been. Saturn moving into Aries is really having us rebuild the foundation of who am I? Who am I? Who am I? There is a deepening of sovereignty with this. And Saturn is really going to bring us in and say, do you really know who you are? Is this who you want to build? Yeah, very interesting. I was like going to say be, but build feels present too, because it's like, is the foundation that you've been creating your identity on stable? We're going to test it out. It's giving... I don't know if you've ever seen those videos of like science teachers or is it science? I think it's construction, like for building buildings within college. Like the bridge tests where students have to build bridges and see how many textbooks it can hold. That's what Saturn does. He's like, you built this structure for Saturn returns. You've built this, and where it's at currently, it's like the last 28 years of your life within this area of your life, depending on where it's at in your natal chart. He's like, is the foundation stable? If you have any major planets within Aries, those things are going to be tested. That's just what Saturn does. I love Saturn. I love Saturn so much. He is here to teach us all the lessons and test us. And I want to pass the tests. I'm a Virgo rising. I want to pass the tests. So we'll see how it goes. So there's a lot of tests around like impulse, anger, independence, courage. It's like, it's very interesting because I'm seeing the like eternal flame. And it's like, can you hold your flame without burning your life down? That's the test of Saturn in Aries. It's like, I have this flame card in my archetypes deck and I'm seeing that, and it talks all about like your own inner flame. And it's like, can you hold that light and not let it go out or consume everything and everybody around you? That's the test. So Saturn is in Aries again until the beginning of September, and then is going to retrograde back in Pisces. So we're going to revisit those lessons, and I have the dates written right here. And he'll re-enter into Aries February 13th, 2026. So next year, and then he'll be there for 2 years. So this is our little taster. This is our little sample of Saturn and Aries that's happening for the next couple months. And it's starting. So that's happening. I need to do a whole video on Saturn and Aries. So keep your eye out for that. Subscribe if you haven't yet so you can be updated on that and we can go down that rabbit hole together. All right, May 25th, Mercury enters Gemini. All right, so we're shifting communication and we're in Gemini season. So now we're double Gemini'd up. Mercury always is close to the sun no matter what. So wherever the sun is, Mercury is going to be close. So Mercury comes home to Gemini. This is great news for my Virgo and Gemini risings because we're ruled by Mercury, and so it feels good. Feels good for us. For everybody else, I don't know how it feels for you guys, but I'm going to talk about it. I'm already tuning into the Gemini energy because I'm talking really fast. So thoughts quicken here, conversations multiply. There is a deepening of curiosity of like, Gemini energy gives me the like little kid that's like running around outside and like is turning over every rock to see what bugs they can find, and they've got their little butterfly catcher and they're like, it's giving like Animal Crossing vibes, like running around your island and trying to find all the cool things to do and like complete all the tasks and learn all the things. So there is so much fun here, a lot of stimulation. So if you might need to do have some grounding practices, hopefully by the time the sun enters Gemini, you've really cultivated some grounding practices in Taurus season. If not, like continue pulling in that Taurus energy, that earthing energy, like stay grounded because this can bring us, and we've got a lot of stuff moving into masculine signs here soon. So it's like, we're soon just going to be fire and air, and things are just going to be a little wild. But later, so such an interesting energy. We're gonna dive deeper. So Mercury and Saturn sextile, right? They both just moved signs. They were sextile in Taurus and Pisces, and now they're sextile in Saturn and Aries. I'm like, my brain's breaking because I'm trying to visualize it in my head. Saturn and Aries, and now Mercury in Gemini. Okay, so now they're sextile here. This is a good opportunity. It kind of brings a bit of an anchor to Mercury a little bit with Saturn there. It's kind of like this calm confidence with Saturn and Aries. It's like, hey guy, but also like Saturn just, the energy that's coming through with this. It's like, you know what energy it gives? I don't know if you've ever like seen videos of like older siblings seeing their newborn sibling for the first time and they're just like, why can't it walk and run yet? Like, why can't it like talk to me? And it's just like, what's happening here? This is there's like, and the parents are here like, and the parents are like, okay, this is a newborn baby. We can't touch and hold it. And that's like the energy of the day, is like that inner parent coming through of like, okay, like these are the boundaries. These are the expectations. And I feel like this is a great opportunity for like us to get to know this Saturn and Aries dynamic. It's like really grounding a bit, like where it's like, okay, I'm seeing everything. Like I see the mom like sitting there with like the newborn baby and watching the kid and like looking at the father like, I just gave birth. I don't, and that father energy is Saturn, you know, being kind of like, hey, this is your new sibling. This is what it's like. This is how we move. This is how we navigate. So it's kind of this like action-based parenting sort of energy. So it's a great time to like be authentic and to be present with boundaries too. This is a great time. You may be noticing like with Saturn moving into Aries, like new boundaries around identity, new things just like surfacing. It's like a very different shift. So this energy is potent. Think about, this can also be a day of like contracts or commitments too. Saturn brings in that flare of contracts. So maybe new things are coming in that you're committing to. Articulating boundaries, taking ideas more seriously. Like maybe those things that you've been desiring and percolating with Taurus season and with Saturn in the last degrees of Pisces, like these new things, these new ideas that wanted to take birth. Now it's time to like, what's the commitment to them? What's the, this is like teaching, writing, structured creativity, right? Again, it's kind of like setting that tone. So yeah, there's a massive shift this week. Like those are all the transits. If you made it this far, thank you. Let's go ahead and like, subscribe, comment how you're feeling, looking ahead for the week, etc. But ultimately, like to digest this week, there's a lot of shifts from earth to air, from water to fire, right? So it's shifting gears from the feminine, water and earth, into the masculine, air and fire. So we're going to feel some big changes here. This is a new Saturn era, right? We're getting a taste. We're getting a sampling. There's going to be a new shift in the structure of our life. Right? This is beautiful energy, and I'm really grateful that I get to sit here and talk to you guys about these transits and connect with you and articulate them in a way that hopefully lands. I know it lands. I know the people that find me are landing with how I communicate. By the time you guys get this video, I'm going to be partying in EDC, so drop some love in the comments. Send me a little dancing emoji so I know that you guys are dancing with me and being present with me as I'm there. If you haven't joined my Discord community, I'm sure I'm sharing some updates over there of like how I'm doing with all of it. And yeah, sign up for my newsletter too. By the time that this goes live, you'll be getting it in your inbox, so sign up before then. And then keep your eye out for a Saturn and Aries video, and we'll see if I do a Sun and Gemini video. I would like to, but going to EDC, it's kind of my main priority right now, and enjoying life and being in that fun, playful energy. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being present here, being present with yourself, and for letting me use my words as magic. All right. Love you guys. Bye.